Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to ShifaTalk. This is M speaking. I just, I'm looking at the date and we're so close to Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to enter and finish it and gain strength in learning from ourselves, from our nafs. May He protect us and guide us always. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Ramadan is coming up pretty soon. And this is where I see a lot of people get so excited and people are hesitant, people are getting anxiety, people are getting angry. SubhanAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala heal our pain. That is just something that I just kind of wanted a little reminder of, is that, it is coming our way and it's coming fast. And I pray that this Ramadan provides you something that you've been yearning for, that you've been needing, and that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows is what's best for you. But again, I welcome you back to ShifaTalk, a space where we relearn, reprocess, and rediscover ourselves on this journey back to Allah. This isn't a place where you have to be strong. It's not a place where you have to explain yourself well. It's not a place where you have to be better before you're allowed in. This is a place where hearts are allowed to arrive as they are. And you know the drill. Gotta start with Bismillah. There are people listening in right now who have heard the sentence, "You are so sensitive." Not once, not twice, but enough times that it became part of how you see yourself. You weren't told it gently. You weren't told it without curiosity. It was said when you cried, when you spoke up, when you reacted, and when you noticed something others wanted to ignore. It was said like a complaint, an overly used complaint. And you started believing. You started telling yourself, I'm just being too sensitive. Something is wrong with me. Why am I always reactive? Why do I cry off of everything? Why do I cry when I feel overwhelmed? Why do I cry when I'm scared or I doubt myself? Let's be honest. Being sensitive in this world is not easy. Sensitive people feel things before others do. And they notice tension quickly. They feel words land harder. They carry emotions longer, and they don't choose this. It's how their hearts were made. Whoever told you this was a bad thing, I pray that gets stripped away. And instead of being protected for it, many of you were criticized for it. You were told, don't take things so personally, take it with a grain of salt, you're overthinking, you need thicker skin, why do you make everything such a big deal? So you learned to second guess yourself. You learned to quiet your reactions. You learned to swallow your feelings. You learned to say, I'm fine, when you weren't. And that fake smile, that fake laugh, that fake nod. And this is not because you wanted to be dishonest, but because being honest didn't feel safe. And somewhere along the way, sensitivity stopped feeling like a gift. It started feeling like a liability. And here's what I want you to know. I want you to hear it slowly. Allah did not accidentally make you this way. He did not give you a heart that feels deeply and then expect you to harden it to survive Him. Allah is not uncomfortable with your sensitivity. People were. The Prophet ﷺ said, a group of people will enter paradise whose hearts are like the hearts of birds. That is in Sahih Muslim. Birds' hearts are small. They're alert. They're easily startled, but they're responsive. They're not weighed down with armor, and yet Allah provides for them every day. Allah did not say hearts like rocks. He did not say hearts that never flinch. He described hearts that are alive. If you are sensitive, that means your heart still responds. It still softens when someone is kind. It still aches when something is unfair. It still feels Allah's name deeply when that feeling hurts. And that is not weakness, that is life. But let's talk about the part people don't say out loud. Sensitive people get tired. They get tired of explaining themselves, tired of being misunderstood, tired of feeling too much in spaces that ask for less. So many of you learn to survive by shrinking yourself, putting yourself in a corner. You were forced to learn how to be quiet, when not to react, when to pretend something didn't affect you. And Allah saw that. He saw the times you swallowed tears, when you wiped them before they fell on your face, where you put your hand over your mouth, when you moved your neck the other way so no one saw that tear fall. He saw the moments you stayed silent to keep the peace. He saw how you tried to make yourself easier to be around, and He never mistook that for strength. He knew it was exhaustion. And sometimes sensitive people struggle with faith, not because they don't love Allah, but because they feel Him so strongly. They feel guilt more intensely. They feel distance more painfully. They feel pressure more heavily. When faith was taught with harshness, sensitive hearts felt crushed instead of guided, or nurtured, or protected, or appreciated. Not because Allah is harsh, but because His name was delivered without mercy. Allah does not rush sensitive hearts. He does not scold them for needing time. He does not tell them to toughen up. Allah draws close to what is fragile. He says He is near to the brokenhearted. Near, not annoyed. If you feel things deeply, that doesn't mean you are dramatic. It means your heart still works. And in a world that numbs itself to survive, that matters. Your heart is pumping right now. Listen to it. Nurture it. The sound of it is beautiful. That is the sound that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. Maybe the work is not becoming less sensitive. Maybe the work is learning that your softness deserves gentleness from others and from yourself. Maybe the work is believing that Allah's mercy reaches you because of your softness and not out of spite. You don't need to be ashamed of feeling things quickly. You don't need to apologize for being affected. You don't need to explain your heart into being acceptable. Allah already understands it. And if people didn't know how to handle your sensitivity, that doesn't mean it was wrong. It means they didn't know how to be careful with what Allah had placed in you. So if you're listening and you've been carrying shame for being too sensitive, let this be a moment where you stop fighting yourself. Let this be a moment where you say, maybe my heart isn't the problem. Allah is gentle. He is more than gentle than the world you grew up in. More gentle than the voices that dismissed you. More gentle than the way you learned to treat yourself. And He does not ask you to become harder to be worthy of Him. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, you created our hearts as they are, and you know how quickly they feel, how deeply we respond, how easily we ache. Ya Allah, forgive us for the times we believed that our softness made us unworthy, that made us weak. Protect our hearts from hardening out of fear. Protect us from believing we must change ourselves to be loved by you. Ya Allah, meet our sensitivity with your mercy. Hold us. Guide us in a world that is rough. And let us feel safe being who you created us to be. Ameen. I appreciate all of you for being in with me today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you and never deprive you from any kind of barakah. May He increase your rizq. May He allow you to prepare you for Ramadan. May Ramadan be the greatest experience. May He keep inviting you in Ramadan. May He unite you and your family. I appreciate all of you. Again, Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.